Another time I was at a university and we had a group of Christian missionaries sitting at a table. There was about 4 or 5 of them. I think they were preaching born-again Christianity. They were giving out new Bibles. And there was a young man, probably in his early 20s, debating with them, and they were finding it a challenge with him. This young man was an atheist, and my friends started nudging me. We were giving out some pamphlets for a speaker that was coming down. This was more than 30, maybe about 25 years ago. And they said, why don't you start a debate? I said, I don't like debating. But listening to the atheist speak, the Christians are trying to convince him that God exists, and the atheist is using some really strong arguments. And I didn't want the atheist to be right, because obviously Christians are correct that God exists. We agree on that. So I kind of jumped in and I asked the atheist a simple question. I said, if an archaeologist finds a pot in the desert, and the archaeologist with their team studies that pot and finds a lot of strange writings and pictures and images on that pot, and he and his team start to, work chronologically. What do they say? And they break the code, and then they come with a conclusion, writing a big report saying that a particular civilization lived here 4,000 years ago. They looked like this, they dressed like that, they spoke like this, but they believed in that. Even though it was a long time ago, they've never seen them or witnessed them. So would you believe that archaeologists with their findings, such as the Egyptians and the hieroglyphics? He said, yeah, this is what we call, empirical evidence. I said, all right, let's use that same evidence and apply it to what you see around you right now. You're the archaeologist. I want you to look at that tree right next to you. It has a branch, it has a trunk, it has leaves. It obviously has a way of surviving. You can see it right in front of you. Give it some thought. Do you think a human made it? No, a human planted it. Well, what keeps it living? The sunlight, photosynthesis. Okay. What keeps this mechanism going? Who began this process? What's maintaining it? So through thought after thought, I said, just like the archaeologist, why don't you give it a bit more thought? Think of the strongest, most powerful, intelligent human being in the world, because obviously humans are much more intelligent than animals. But you wouldn't say an animal is maintaining the tree or created its existence and created the laws surrounding it. So I said, could a human being have created this phenomena, the tree? He gave a smirk and said, look, I know where you're coming from. All right. This is called, by the way, inductive reasoning. And he said to me, well, I can see where you're coming from. You're making sense. If I keep following this logical progression, I should arrive at a higher being beyond the human. So, but you're telling me that God has a son, and that son died. And if you're telling me God gets married as a family, as a son, what makes him different to me? I can't accept a creator of this magnificent universe to be something similar to me. That's his logic. I said to him, no, God has no son, no partners. And I recited, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say, he is Allah, the one and only. He is the As-Samad, the eternal and the all-knowing and the all-wise, the one who has no beginning or end. He does not father anyone, nor is he fathered by anyone, and there is nothing like unto him or any partner associated with him whatsoever. And wallahi, he said to me that, now that makes much more sense for me to start my journey of discovery. And he took my pamphlets and started giving them out.